we've seen more of those kind of heroes picked first that do offer flexibility or do offer a sort of alternative, or where they might not play, you know, it doesn't necessarily it's offlane, or maybe it's not a support. It's good to have that, like a Rubik, for instance. We've seen Rubik picked first time so much in the last 6 months, whereas before that we were sort of like, wow, why would you pick Rubik first? That's bizarre. But
why would you pick Monkey King first? That's bizarre.
Quite, yeah. Exactly. And it has been. So let's throw that theory out the window anyway. I don't know. I just thought
right, though.
It has been more of that, right? It seems a sensible thing. Why wasn't it a thing before?
It just all depends on who's the strongest supports at the time. I mean, like back when Oracle was super OP in terms of his base damage and drow combos and how strong his ulti was. It's still good, but you know, there's lots of little nerfs and things, and eventually you get another hero that's kind of generic that covers all the bases. That's good against these big team fight ultimate heroes. Like, why would you pick Oracle, or why would you pick Rubik in the first round when your typical offlane hero is like Axe or something? It's not as good a skill to steal, but when you're playing against like Magnuses and Centaurs and other big ultimate, it's better to pick Rubik, and especially because the other heroes have been more nerfed than him lately.
So we've got a Monkey King Lina combo. It's the first time we've ever seen that, because it's only the second time we've seen Monkey King here. What did you make of the first game you watched this morning, Shiva?
I was not impressed. I also saw that the Monkey King, he didn't get as much done as what needed to be done. I kind of felt like that was the story of the game, and there's a lot of pressure on him needing to do stuff, and that's
first
going to be
10
really
minutes
difficult.
was okay though.
And it was okay because they weren't losing, but they weren't winning hard enough.
Sure. But it almost seemed like Newbie just decided, like, we don't really care where he is or what he's doing.
Exactly.
We're just going to ignore him.
Because as long as he doesn't get out of control, which he didn't, they have a Keeper of the Light, which Liquid now again has, and he's not going to be able to, again, get anything done. They already have something to get him off of the trees or to interrupt him, and they get the vision with the Keeper of the Light, so later on, that's not going to be an issue. They will have the vision advantage when daytime is up anyway.
Do you not think, Kevin, if you're going to pick the Monkey King, and we've already figured out, teams are already figuring out that Kotl is a great counter, if you know you're going to pick him first, why aren't you banning the Kotl alongside?
You just can't handle to do that in the first round. You don't ban Kotl first round. There's no way. Okay. There's way more important heroes.
But you don't pick Monkey King in the first round either, right?
I mean, clearly they feel okay with it. Maybe they've got their own little secret draft that's coming.
This is where a 3-pointer, as you point out, it makes a big difference. If you do have something up your sleeves that you think like, okay, let's get those 3 points in against Liquid, which arguably is going to be one of the stronger teams in this group, perhaps. It's a good 3 points to get.
Yeah, it could be really good.
Yeah, I think 3 points are going to be hard to come by in both groups. I really do. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward. I think we're going to see a lot of series M1-1. So whenever you can pick up those extra 2, I think it's going to be so crucial. You pick up a couple of those and then a couple of draws. Yeah. That could see you in the top 2.
Yeah, every single one's basically a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If you think about it. I think there was, I think when Newbie won TI4, it was the same situation. They went like 1-1 in all of their games in the tournament, and then they got into this like 3-way tiebreaker. They won that, and then they like slowly played through and eventually won the whole tournament. So the 2-0s, man, they're big.
They are huge.
They are.
Second phase draw bans have been done. So the Lifestealer does get the respect ban. A little bit of respect, but also...
What the Chinese teams kind of do pick up against Keeper of the Light is Night Stalker. They don't shy away from that, as some Western teams might. So there's a chance we might see that. It cancels out the Keeper of the Light, but what do you think, Kevin? Is it good enough to pick just for that?
It'd be good. I think I'm kind of looking at the Lina pick, and I feel like the part of the reason that they're valuing the hero is just because she can also split push lanes really well, and by doing that, it counteracts what kind of pressure that Kotl does, which is just push lanes and then the creeps hit the tower. But if Lina's there to counteract it and do almost equivalent nuke damage, just counter push the lanes, and you do more in team fights than Kotl does in some ways, in terms of single target lockdown and burst. So their draft is definitely looking weird to me on IG's side, but there's some really good parts about it. You know, the counter push, they've got single target burst on Lina, Monkey King combos well with Legion as well, just kind of good roaming, good nuke, good AoE, good catch. It's just kind of generic. It doesn't necessarily hard counter what Liquid does, but it kind of covers a lot of bases right now, and Legion's good laner. I think it's okay.
So far you are thinking Legion off lane, and then the 3 and the,
most likely.
The 4 and the 5
but
in the Lina.
He could also be in a 1v1 against Nyx Assassin too. Legion's a fantastic 1v1 hero. High int gains, so she can handle just spamming spells in lane, and she trades well with her passive. So
Yeah, we still have Tinker in the pool as well, by the way, so just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
As we also see Rubik coming back from the previous game, so GH will have a field day. Oh, saying that, GH is also the Keeper of Light player.
Oh, so that's okay. Kuro's Kuro is a known Rubik.
Yep.
Definitely known Rubik. I actually really like the CM this game. The 3 heroes that she's comboed with definitely really profit from the mana aura, especially the Lina and the Legion and Monkey King too as well.
Is this a Lina core then?
It definitely could be.
Or Monkey King core?
I don't think Monkey King core. I'm not 100% sold on that statement, but I think it's going to be roaming Monkey King Lina core. But I'm not 100%.
This is a much better fit for the CM than we saw earlier today as well. And that was a first round. First phase.
Yeah, it's definitely better here. And also the liquid heroes are a little squishy, like Rubik Coddle. And while CM doesn't do tons of damage, throwing like a Frostbite that lasts for 3 seconds on squishy heroes is huge for cores. Like Legion can just run them down and hit them 3 times with an Armlet or a Deso or something and kill them usually.
Easy Jules.
I think CM's a good pick here.
Oh.
That is so surprising. That's one of the lowest win rate heroes right now, below 5k.
Yeah. It's
he did get some buffs talent-wise. I think he's got something like 250 health at level 10 if he wants it, or I think he got +4 treants at 15. I think they got changed. He's been getting a lot of talent tree buffs.
He's been getting buffs, but I mean, where is this going to get played, first of all?
Probably solo lane, and then they're going to try and lane with Coddle, Rubik, and a core, and then just take 4v3 fights if they can. So I think they're going to force a... But if they aggro try, then they've got their Nyx Assassin versus a solo hero that maybe isn't advantageous. But maybe if it's like Nyx mid versus Lina, it could work. Maybe? I'm not really sure, but I think it's obvious that Liquid wants to fight. Against like Monkey King and Crystal Mania could work. Oh, and they can also summon Treants where the Monkey King is. Stun him for 4 seconds.
Good point, yes.
That's a pretty good benefit. So I could see this working, and it's decent at pushing. There's the Coddle plus Nature's Prophet. That kind of pushing is cool. But they are a little bit iffy on cores, since now it's going to be like Nyx, Nature's Prophet plus core. So if the game gets bad, it's not going to look good for Liquid scaling late.
It looks so different than game number 1, where we had a lot of team fight from both teams.
This could almost be totally different teams playing the second game.
It's just also it's different in style. It's they don't care that much about team fight.
They're taking away the TA.
Yeah, they basically need a high damage core that comes online relatively early, because if they take Prophet and they go like mech or something and Coddle gets a fast Ags, they just end the game basically. Against like a Monkey King early, what is he going to do? Drop his ulti and they're all going to slap for like 70 damage, no basher, no echo. Like a lot of their heroes aren't going to have impact, and if Liquid gets an advantage and 5-mans, they're just going to end the game against like Legion. I guess Legion's nuke is good, but
Team Liquid is also the team that sometimes puts Miracle mid on the Rubik, by the way. And in which case, GH can still play the Keeper of Light.
Here though, surely.
Mid Rubik is so iffy though.
They've done it in major tournaments before. I just can't remember which ones, but they have.
It's been a while. I think they could make it work this game.
Before TI, wasn't it?
No, it's also after. It's also in Liquid.
If there's any game to do it, I guess it's this. But
I believe so. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. It might have been Dream League that he played that. So that's something that they could have done.
It doesn't scale well though.
Old-fashioned Spectre with the Nature's Prophet.
I don't know. No, I don't think you Spectre against Legion. There's too much burst against Monkey King. It's not a good spec game.
Just put him on Jakiro and be done with it.
They need like a. I mean, I almost said Jakiro. Jug would have been perfect.
I nearly burned that into your mind then.
Right when I'm about to say hero name, you just say Jakiro.
Yeah, just keep saying it. And
eventually almost having a serious conversation about it, then it's like, wait a second.
Maybe like a ranged hero. It could be like Drow Ranger or something like that. Something that's some semi-early impact with high ground tower hitting. Good physical damage would be nice. Something like that I think is straightforward.
There it is, good call.
Hey, what a great call.
They do seem so squishy though.
They're definitely squishy, but I think if they get strong and they 5-man, there's very little that IG can do to stop them from pushing, because it's like CM can't stand there and channel an ulti. If they duel somebody, they're all going to kill that guy. They've got some bursts between like Lina, Legion, Crystal Maiden, Monkey King, Nuke, I guess, but if they just get like a mech and like a drum and maybe a Helm of the Dominator, I think Liquid's going to be really good at 5-manning. So the lane matchups are going to be huge. Like the first 10 minutes, it should be a reverse of what happened last game. with Liquid should be in the advantage.
Now there's a
Should be.
Spectre. I was not expecting it on the other side, but
Yeah,
I'll claim
well-
credit. Thank you.
You both called the last pick. Just it happens that they were on either side.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Mine was right, thank you.
Yeah, no, you were both
No,
right.
You were right.
There are no losers here, Kevin.
She thought the Shiva was gonna, or the Spectre, another S
I know,
word, was
I
gonna
know,
be on.
I know.
Okay,
It-
I just
it's
want to be
fine.
real
It's fine.
clear.
You
No
were
one-
right.
no one do
I was
credit.
wrong, Bert. Don't worry.
Very quickly before we go back to the commentators, which draft do you like and which team are going to take this particular game, whether it's a 3-pointer or a 1-pointer, Kevin?
I like what the Liquid draft is doing. It's just the IG draft is so weird looking that I can't even assess if it's good or not. It's just all those 5 heroes together just don't
you
look like
picked
they
the
fit.
last hero as well.
I like. I'm gonna go with Liquid because I understand their drafts. But I honestly I don't know what to make of IG's draft yet.
Okay.
I
not
still
sure.
feel like Liquid should be the better team as well, so I'm
Right.
going with Liquid as well again.
Okay. Well, we're at a little bit of a loss here in terms of the picks, but that's okay because really it's about the matches, it's about the players, and let's find out what they do in terms of heroes this time. Weird draft, does it win? Let's find out as we head back to OD Pixel and Gods.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed. Here we are, game 2 now. IG versus Liquid. We're just seeing the drafts. Again, I'm excited. We're having kind of new heroes picked up. As the panel mentioned, it's pretty different to what we saw in game 1. The panel again, though, saying Liquid, but that last game, Gods, you've got to respect the power of IG. They turned up. Arguably, they were allowed to have a lot of their strong heroes, which maybe was Kuroki, as you mentioned, feeling he had a strat, trying something out. It didn't work. They've gone for something different in this game too. We're seeing Drow Rangers, Nature's Prophet. You're doing this against a team that kind of just beat you down. Well, kind of one of the harder beatdowns we've seen that Liquid have received in a while, because Liquid have been looking hot.
Yeah, but the thing that maybe key change for me with IG is they're not on those same comfort heroes. They've gotten an unconventional draft of their own. I mean, some heroes they've played before. I've seen OP play the Lina. The Monkey King support seems to be just an emerging thing in China, but it's going to be interesting to see how these drafts work.
You know what I'm excited about, Gods? We have got the Triple Arcanas coming out on
Triple
IG.
Arcanas.
Triple Arcanas, pay to win, boys and girls. It will be confirmed if IG take this series.
Yeah.
They're all out. CM, Legion, and the Lina.
You need the 5-man Arcana
Legion?
lineup.
Oh, 4-man. I can't count. There's 4 Arcanas.
Oh,
We've got the MK. We've got 4.
CM has hers, yeah? Is
Yeah.
that the CM Arcana? Okay.
Spectre Arcana confirmed. It's the missing piece. If IG win this game, Valve will
Jeez.
release it after they won't really. They won't. don't expect a Spectre Arcana. Unfortunately, Spectre Arcana would be pretty high. But 4 Arcanas. I mean, how do you beat that?
Not with Arcanas.
I mean, not with yeah,
You've got 0 on Liquid, so
with the non-Arcana strat.
Got to figure out another way around.
But yeah, let's talk about this lineup from Liquid. So Drow, Nature's Prophet coming through. Look at the lanes that we've got coming out as well.
They're going to be looking to push a lot.
Yeah.
NP mid is actually quite a good matchup against Lina. Lina's like pretty low armor. You put the treants on the Lina, and she kind of doesn't really do a whole lot. She struggles. She has to run away from the creep wave. I've seen Matu play this Nature's Prophet before. He does so very well. So it's a hero he's very comfortable on, even though it's kind of an unconventional pick. Not saying he plays much in the competitive scene. So, and he's going to get Drow Aura, so he's going to right-click incredibly hard. This Lina, I feel, may have a slightly tough time at early levels at least. Once you get more points in the Dragon Slave, the lane gets a lot easier.
And I mean, as you were saying as well to me in the draft, you know, Matu, he's played the Natures before. Does he play it more so in the safe lane, or is mid lane somewhere that he will take it if it feels the matchup is better?
I mean, going back, it used to be like a safe lane Nature's Prophet thing. There was a big period of time with competitive Dota where it was just standardly run in safe lane. IG, super aggressive.
Look
up
at this,
top.
just going straight in onto Miracle on the safe lane. That's going to be your first blood, and DQ picks it up there with the last touch from CM. Baboka's out back to safety. Only just falling down to 18 HP, but he'll be fine. But I mean, it's a scary lane. So running this aggressive with the Spectre, CM, and Monkey King. I mean, especially once they get that level 2, once that MK has the passive, it's going to be so hard for Liquid to do anything. They realize that already. Miracle straight down to the bottom. He does not want to have to deal with Monkey in his face.
Yeah, you don't normally think of Spectre as an aggro trailing hero. It's kind of like the opposite of an aggro trailing hero. But with the right aggro trailing, they probably feel like, all right, this is actually an okay hero to have against the Drow. Early levels, Drow doesn't hit very hard. Spectre just starts with a poor man's shield, 8 tangos. You're doing okay there. So, yeah, they've made this aggro trailing work. Problem is, the lanes have already been rotated, but instantly Baboka TP's bottom. Now he's ready to mess with the Drow and the Coddle down here and help out XXS.
And here we go with the jump in. Doesn't get the connection onto GH. But at the least, just forcing GH to run away on his old little horse up top. Mind control with the harassment onto Q. Bring him down as low as possible. Won't quite be able to finish the kill, but does push the CM back out of lane. But I feel like I really want to be watching what Baboka does this game. We saw what he was able to do in game 1 on the Earth Spirit. We know he's this amazing roamer. I feel like as well one of the strongest that we see coming out of China at the moment. And to give him the Monkey King, it could be pretty scary for Liquid. Top lane, Burning, falling down low, and with the follow-up stun and the Fade Bolt, can they actually finish him off here? This poor man's shield isn't going to save him. Mind control will be able to find the kill, and also gets himself out as well. The tower hit's not quite enough to bring him down, so Spectre left alone for a little bit as the CM did back away because of that harassment, and they get the kill.
One of those tough things where you're trying to like maximize your value from the shrine. I feel like he didn't mind taking some harass, getting some last hits, assuming he can get back to his shrine and stay alive, but you can't die there. You've got to survive on that 50 HP and get to your shrine to make value of taking all the harass, and that's exactly what doesn't happen. So he TP's down bottom. He wants to make sure he's in a lane where he can get farm, and it feels like he wants to chase this Drow Ranger around the map.
Mid lane, GH is going to look for the body blocks. He isn't going to be able to find them, but the stun still connects. Mind control comes in. There'll be a reaction from XSS. They've lost one. XXS, can he find Matu in return? No, he can't. With the Fairy Fire, Matumaman's back off to the high ground. Will survive. And Liquid do get themselves the second pick of the game, but bottom lane, Baboka playing around with Miracle. Has still got the tree drum. 4 seconds and he can get himself back down, but Miracle's with the salve. And we'll be able to get away before he's able to get the Primal Spring off.
Decides not to go for it. Hasn't actually got points in the Primal Spring yet.
Oh, is he not? Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh,
no, yeah, he's got the 1 point.
Oh,
yeah, he's got the 1 point in it.
Of course.
Because you get it with the tree jump.
Yeah.
Come on, God. Yeah, you're Monkey King.
I'm not a Monkey King player, you know?
I am, God. Oh, I am. I am a Monkey King player. A bad one at that. Not a fraction of what we're going to see from Baboka, of course. Bottom lane, mind control again. We saw him bring down Burning on the top lane. He's come straight onto the bottom lane looking for a bit of fun, trying to line up the stun. Will hit it. In fact, they should be able to get him down again. Mind control this time will pay with his life. But they are certainly doing their best to control the Burning, and understandably so. We saw in game 1, Burning had absolute free farm at the start, and of course, as the panel mentioned, MVP in their eyes from game 1 was insane. So Liquid, they've changed the priorities around, and they're doing their best to stop the safe lane.
Yeah. It's kind of strange because it started off as IG, sending the Spectre aggressive to shut down the Drow, but like once the first couple of minutes went by, then it turned into, okay, where can we send the Spectre to find a farming lane? And right now it's proven to be quite difficult to find an easy lane for him. Has got some assists. It looks like Baboka's going to be transitioning kind of from the roaming Monkey King to maybe more like a support burning kind of Monkey King. At least get him like his early phase boots up before you start making your next couple of moves.
In fact, mind control.
Misses
He's going to go in. Has to be a little careful because the lifesteal and that big old staff is there.
And we're already seeing like the power of the Monkey King. Like I feel like this pick has already justified itself. It's kind of that pseudo like Ricky Bounty Hunter type hero now, where instead of invisible, you're just on trees, which most of the time you are kind of invisible to your opponents because of that. And his presence when he's been off the map has been definitely duly noted. The CMR has really amplified what he's been able to do as well, just giving that bit of extra mana sustain to keep using his spells. And
mind control comes in. Instantly cuts the tree down, holds the Monkey King back for a little bit. And that will allow him to get himself back off to safety. Knew exactly where he was.
But yeah, Miracle, the top lane's found some levels and at least basic farm. He's going to get pressured a little bit here, but don't think this should be enough.
Let's try and turn it onto XXS with the turn up of Kuroki, but not quite enough damage.
How's our mid lane going? Lina, Nature's Prophet, pretty even on CS. Nature's Prophet with a slight deny advantage. Phase Boots now Talisman. Lina with Boots, Bottle, so it looks like pretty even between the two mids in terms of farm and items. Both have hit level 6. Now we see the Nature's Prophet ultimate potentially getting involved, so if ganks start happening.
Q's walked into this one, but Timmerman is going to play around with it. Summons in the Nature's Wrath. The bounce is there, straight through the head of the CM. Rips her down. At the same time, bottom lane, mind control with the opening onto Baboka. Takes down one. Burning will find GH in return. This time Burning will be able to survive the fight, as it's a simple 1-for-1 down on the bottom.
XXS once. Miracle doesn't quite get him. And he may pay for this now.
Yeah, but Kuroki coming around from the side. Looks like XSS will be punished for his greed, as they will take the Legion. 6 for 3 for Liquid, already looking to be a much better start than game 1.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet getting the fast level 6, able to use that ultimate to great effect, helping the kill at bottom, then even the kill at top.
Oh, here comes the Monkey King though, straight onto GH with the Primal Spring. I mean, OP's got to be careful. Ooh, he'll take the kill on the way out.
died to tower hits. There was one creep on the tower, but he didn't de-aggro it, and yeah, he was just getting too low while he did that, so not worth it at all for the IG mid laner. Baboka's doing very well in his Monkey King bet. The cores need to get some catch-up, and that's what Burning's trying to do with a kill down bottom on Mind Control.
I'm looking for this guy. He's got the stick charges, turns around with a quick stun. That'll be enough to keep him alive as Mind Control backs away.
See what Burning can do with his level 6.
Oh, look at this again. Monkey King strikes again, finds Matuma Man. Is the Jinju Mastery hits enough? It doesn't look like it is. He jumps out the trees, and they know where he is, but is there anything they can do? Matuma Man's out of mana, so no way that he can hunt him down with any sort of sprout or treant summoning. So Baboka will get himself out, but the kill doesn't occur.
Spectre close to level 6. There's been like a couple kills in a row where the Drow at top, the Nature's Prophet there at mid, where if he had Haunt, would have been very easy pickups and clean up for the Burning Spectre, but he's going to hit that level 6 fairly soon, and then we'll see the Haunt.
Oh, Krogi says you want that rune, you ain't having it, but OP says I want your life. Light Strike Array into the jump from Baboka, and again, Monkey King will find a kill. OP trapped up, gets himself up to the high ground, doesn't matter, the kill follows through, and at the same time Mind Control turned up with the wraparound to punish Monkey King. So Baboka will be punished. Only getting a bit more space down on the bottom.
A lot of fighting, a lot of brawling, and it's Liquid coming out on top with the better trades. Nature's Prophet, how mobile he's been, has definitely worked well for them, and just having all these early game fighting items, the Phase, the Bracer, the Null. It's going to go for a quick drums, it looks like. This time it's been made a lot cheaper, and this is going to be a very cost-effective early pick-off for the Nature's Prophet.
And Burning just running the trees for a bit, waiting to see the appearance of Liquid elsewhere on the map. Keeping it safe, top lane. Boka's got his eyes on Miracle now, and with the Haunt, who are they going to look to go for? It looks like GH, yeah. Straight into their own jungle. GH was trying to chase down and harass back the CM, but Burning's there to cover her back and make sure that he's the one that picks up the kill and punishes GH's aggression.
Take the free kill, and that's kind of the idea with the Spectre Horn is just use it for a pick off whenever possible, and then go farm while it's on cooldown. Anytime it's up, you want to be trying to get pick offs as much as possible, and even more so once you've got the urn up. You want to start accumulating those urn charges, which is some extra damage output for ganks, and also good to help sustain your farm.
Oh, Matuma Man tried to get the block off there with the Sprout. And Baboka, how's he going to jump in onto Matuma Man? Miracle's there as well, holds them back with the stun, tries to get out into the tree, in fact turns into the tree, oh, he's been done! Oh, Matuma Man walks around, he can't see him to right-click him, they lose the Nature's Prophet, IG!
I don't know how much that mattered. Like, I'm not a Monkey King player. I can't really say whether
I mean,
that was, like,
basically what I think he did,
see.
because obviously Matuma Man was kind of clicking around the tree line trying to get round.
They lost aggro, kind of.
And because he didn't click on it and clicked over it, his hero was trying to walk past it, and it was like, hang on, there shouldn't be a tree here. And then the Monkey King's like, I'm not a tree. I'm a killing machine. And IG, my goodness. Look at the tower as well out of this one.
I'm so glad. It's so much fun when you see new heroes coming to Captain's Mode. And that's, I think, what Monkey King's adding a nice little flavor.
Not fun for Liquid, of course, but
not currently.
Fun for us.
It'll be fun when GH starts playing it, you know? Like, he'll probably see these games and be like, oh, I'm going to play more of this Monkey King. All the people who play Rookie and Bounty Hunter, like people like MNT, I'm sure, are so happy now that Monkey King's in Captain's Mode. It's just like another alternative roaming hero.
Oh, I want to see the Jarek's Monkey King.
Yeah, I feel like
that's one of the ones up there that I want to see come out.
I think he was the first one to play it in competitive in the elimination mode, maybe, or one of the
that
first?
was MNT.
Oh, that was
MNT was
right.
That was in elimination mode. Outfit picked it out.
Yeah, Jarek's, I feel like it's
Could be
a hero that could suit him very well, and we're seeing it here. I mean, players like Baboka, he's exactly the same kind of player too. He's had a fantastic game, already level 6 now, and almost has his phase boots up.
Trying to find an opening onto XXS there. Out from Legion will keep him fine, but Liquid putting on the pressure.
Next Haunt's up soon, and that's where IG can be very strong.
They could they're looking to hold it. They got okay. The TP will be cancelled. Look like they're going to decide to just let this tier 1 go. Mind Control will pick up the CM.
Good long range impale caught him out, and doesn't look like IG can defend this one too easily. Lena's out of mana actually, so without the heal up.
Here we go with the Haunt. What are we looking for? Looks like top lane is going to be the target. They're going to be bringing in more as Miracle has been surrounded. And out they go. Baboka picks up another, takes down the Drow. More kills, more action for this Monkey King as Baboka's now got the money for the phase boots.
It's the first urn charges too for Burning, so he can use those for ganking, for healing himself while he farms. I think Liquid do want to keep applying pressure. As soon as that was Monkey King ultimate and Haunt down, that's like a good 60, 70 second window now where they can try and push a tower or group up, take some objectives here. they've got this very early game Nature's Prophet build, the phase drums. They've got a, I mean, Drow is theoretically a fairly early game centric hero that wants to make moves early on as well. So I do feel like this is a small little window where Liquid can try and punish those cooldowns.
What was the build from Matuma Man? Drums, I guess this is going to be Maelstrom with the Gloves of Haste?
Maelstrom's good.
Yeah.
Could theoretically go back for a Midas as well, but I think like a Maelstrom type build into just like a right-click and carry should work pretty well. You've got the Drow Aura to back you up as well, so maybe throwing a Blink Dagger for some extra split push. I feel like this could turn into a fairly split pushy game, but that's where Spectre Haunt, Legion Jewel, Monkey King, you've got some pretty good catch as well on the side of IG.
Mind Control is going to look to open onto Burning, but Boka is in the neighborhood and can be there to turn if required, and indeed he's going to jump immediately straight onto the backlines, looks for the 3-man stun, will take down Kuroki. OP with the light strike into the Laguna, burst down Mind Control, jumping across. They've got the vision on Matuma Man. Do they have the stun? They don't have anything available, as the Sprout as well blocked XXS off from getting in range for the duel. So Matuma Man gets out, but again, do find 2 for 1, but they are losing Burning.
Yeah, losing Burning is still favor like IG. It's during their downtime. Like, they're meant to be weak when they don't have Haunt, they don't have Monkey King Ultimate, but they managed to, very similar to game 1 where Burning was the life stealer and Baboka's in the trees with Earth Spirit, he just baits Burning. Like, he's ready for the opponents to go for him. He counter initiates so well. To get in the position for the 3-man stun, I feel like a lot of players there just instantly stun, try and save their carry, but he's like, no, I'm going to make sure we get a good stun off and can find 2-3 kills here. Even if it means Burning dies, he was likely dead anyways. It was a great little play coming out from Baboka, who's now on the hunt once again.
There we go, GH will have seen him jump across there. Baboka is going to look for the chase down. The mana's gone. Mind Control burns it all.
The Haunt soon, but I don't think Burning wants to unleash that.
And GH just TPs immediately back to safety, to the tier 2 mid. Making sure he's not caught out. And indeed, this Haunt is available. XXS. Blink Dagger money is there, so this is one of the opportune moments for RG really to find fights, isn't it? With that Blink Dagger Legion and having the Spectre Haunt backup, it could be can certainly be a surefire kill.
Oh yeah, they're very strong now. They've maxed out the CM Aura as well, so they can constantly spam out their spells. This is really nice for Spectre, another hero that often has mana problems. If you're using your dagger to perhaps farm faster and just use on heroes a bit, you can often run into these mana problems. They see Mind Control down bottom with the sentries, but doesn't look like he's going to get too aggressive with that Vendetta. He turns around and head back out.
Well, up top, they're going to get the chance for an opening here with the Telekinesis, dragging XXS back. They've got the damage from Miracle and the Nature's Wrath from Matuma Man. So bring down the Legion, and with that, Squad looking to just get some pressure onto this tier 1 top. Should be able to take it for themselves. Fortification comes out. Budding and Baboka still sitting down on the bottom lane. CM is looking to head up there to maybe... No, CM, yeah, is indeed going to need to back up mid lane. In fact, it's going to be where Liquid, they're looking for more action. Haunt will come in. It's going to be the attempt for the turnaround. They've already lost OP, but Baboka coming out with the ultimate. Mind Control trying to get himself out. Will get out of range of the tower under the cover of Vendetta. Survives. Baboka's hot on the chase, though, for Matuma Man. Has the Sprout. Traps the Monkey, but the Monkey jumps out. Baboka continuing with the chase down. Matuma Man, he cannot hide from this Monkey King with the vision that he offers. XXS comes across with the duel. Mind Control with the stun might just buy the time to mean that the duel itself won't count. Matuma Man tries for the Sprout TP, but it's not going to happen with Q and the ultimate. They'll lose their life for the Nature's Prophet. At the least, though, Mind Control's play does stop that duel from being successful.
Mind Control's been playing very well. He's been very active on the map, constantly roaming around, finding pickoffs. And speaking of which, you'll find another kill. Kuro and Miracle, do they have an escape plan there?
Can he catch him? He can indeed, with the straightaway stun onto the attempted TP out from Miracle. And here comes the deeps. Baboka with those slaps. He's trying to give it to Burning, though. Yeah. Burning says, I want this kill. Baboka says, come on, take it. Take it, then. And he does. Burning finally picks it up.
It's definitely worth giving it to your Spectre. Trying to get that fast Radiance. Often early game, you're like, you don't care if your supports get kills, but you're at that stage of the game where Spectre hasn't farmed all that well. Giving him whatever kills possible. If it's a guaranteed kill, you definitely don't leave it up for grabs if there's a chance that the Drow escapes, but they knew they had that kill, and they know Burning can do with whatever gold he can get towards that Radiance.
They want to kill this Monkey, and they've found him. No way that he escapes from this one with Maelstrom now in line from Matuma Man. More than enough damage and control. Once again, Mind Control hunting him out.
Again, yeah, he's been always the one orchestrating the majority of these Liquid kills, 5, 2, and 4. Now is rewarded with a Midas pickup.
Yeah, but they brought him across towards the mid lane here. They're looking towards Burning. The Nature's Wrath are bringing him down low, but the Spectral Dagger is going to mean he's A-OK as he heads straight up the cliff.
Yep. Looks like IG are backing off. May look to group up and go for a smoke play. They have got the horn online soon. So they could be making a call to use this to try and... They haven't been the ones getting the jump. It feels like Liquid often getting the jump on them, and that's where they want to smoke up with the Legion. They haven't gotten much value out of his Blink Dagger just yet, but Liquid are kind of positioned very well, almost expecting this. They saw the heroes grouped around mid.
They really are, but XXS just goes straight for the jump up. Knows that there's heroes there, the smoke's dispelled. They'll drop down the ultimate. 3 of them at the moment are Liquid caught in it. GH trying to walk his way out of it. Attempts to Blinding Light Roker out of the ultimate, but it doesn't happen. They've already lost 2. XXS trying to finish your Miracle with the help of Burning. They're going to do it. IG pick up another. Now with the chase down onto Matuma Man. XXS is questioning coming in for it, but he doesn't need to as Q there with the ultimate brings down Matuma Man, and Burning, he's not done yet. They've found 4. They're looking for the full 5-man. Jump 4 from XXS. They're bringing Kuroki down low. The dagger comes in, and Burning will pick up the 5th as Liquid get team wiped by IG. I mean, IG just did that absolutely perfectly. You said yourself, you know, Liquid were there. It seemed like Liquid knew that something was going to happen, but there was just no hesitation from XXS. As soon as that smoke was dispelled on the low ground, he just blinked straight up to the high ground and went for the immediate duel to kick things off.
Coddle even got the 4-star
just look at it
as he dueled. Like, you can see it here again. Very fast reactions from
look,
both.
the smoke's
GH.
gone, bam, XXS is up, and he gets the duel immediately.
GH was also like, bam, 4-star out. If he doesn't get dueled there, he can use spells like Blinding Light, which could have been very effective. He gets off there, but the damage has already been done. You look at the health on Liquid, 2 heroes already down to critical health. He needs the Blinding Light immediately, as well as spells like Illuminate. Illuminate is maxed out. That's a hell of a lot of AoE damage in a team fight, which you need to try and burst down heroes like Monkey King. And unless they focus Monkey King there, the way that fight's set up around the Wukong's command, there's like 3-4 heroes inside of it. There is no way you can fight inside of that spell. You've got to burst Monkey King to get rid of it.
Incredibly impressive.
This Lena's very scary now as well. We've got the Bloodstone complete, and with the respawn talent, that's an instant respawn for at least the near future.
I like that as well. You can see immediately there's a Liquid sentry at that high point. They're like, he must have had vision. Yeah. They put it straight up where XXS jumped up to. And there was nothing there. He just did it. He felt it. But here we have a little bit of Carla. But Liquid, IG, again with that last fight. Well, what's the status on the Radiant Spectre after that? I mean,
he's got Relic.
Yeah, he's got the Relic off the back of that fight.
He was at like 2.3k gold, I feel like, before that fight happened. They smoke up and then win a fight. He gets some room to farm, and suddenly, yeah, it's like a 1600 gold gain for Spectre. Not so much entirely from the fight, but just through all the events that followed as well. And it feels like this is a smoke that needs to work for Liquid.
They need to get something.
They need to kill Lena fast, though.
They do, because response may be there. And
She'll
indeed it is.
respawn.
XXS jumps across, has got the heal onto the Lena, isn't enough. They'll get the follow-through stun onto XXS, and they'll look to try and take down another, but the Blade Mail's there. Matuma Man, he's trying to man up against this. He's
Lena?
diving deep. On the backlines, though, here comes the ultimate from Monkey King, boys and girls. They've surrounded Miracle, bring him down. The stun from Mind Control nearly kills the Lena off, but OP, he actually keeps himself
His
alive.
third life, he's alive again.
Oh my goodness, what was this respawn time? Because that's ridiculous.
It's actually absurd.
Well, how long is he dead for?
He had 3 lives and was dead for a total of 1 second.
Good old Bloodstone.
And
the respawn,
yeah.
yeah. Well, you get a 10 or 15 on the Lena.
It's
That's 10,
minus
isn't it?
30.
Minus 30 at level 10.
Yeah, level 10.
And Burning just picking them up at the back with the dagger onto Kuro.
Oh, that was from, where was that from? That was from
He
down
had
now.
the dagger on him.
Yeah. Oh,
but
just followed him across the map.
Oh, dagger in the air.
Anyways, yeah, the Lena respawn time is pretty absurd, but you will chew through those Bloodstone charges fast, so you need to make that... Like, you get ganked there, and that's the perfect time to have it. Like, you get 3-4-man gank, your team can turn it around and win the fight. It wasn't like a hugely convincing fight. Lena actually died a second time. Luckily, the second time was a suicide, so it wasn't gold going Liquid's way. If Lena died twice, giving up a big amount of gold, it would have been kind of bad, but worked out okay, and we'll chew through, like, instantly down to 6 Bloodstone charges. I mean, this is, like, the case with Lena. You're very squishy. If you ever get jumped, you die. Those Bloodstone... It's one of the heroes where you actually kind of end up just using those Bloodstone charges. Like a Storm, you want to try and accumulate them. Lena, because of the respawn time, you're looking to die for the team, insta-respawn, TP back in, and take a team fight using that low respawn.
Burning very, very close to having that completed Radiance now. And that is going to become an escalating issue for Liquid. You see Matuma Man still at the top of the network, but it very, very close behind both OP and Burning. And Baboka rising up above Miracle. I mean, Miracle, there was pressure put on him at the start. It's a slow start for the Drow. We saw game 1, Matuma Man kind of had it in for him as IG really focused on keeping him behind. Game 2, they certainly did the same for this Drow. And she's nearly as poor as, well, it says to keep with the light, but GH is rich for himself. Liquid find the opening onto Baboka. And will eliminate the Monkey King. And it looks like IG are wanting to fight this. They've brought the CM on. And on the back lines, a buyback from Baboka. They really want to go here because the Radiance has been picked up. This is the time. They want to find something big here. Baboka's got the ultimate. Straight in with the 3-man stun. They've got the lockdown on the Jewel with the Nature's Prophet being taken out. Out comes the Wukong's command. Burning. He's picked up another and Liquid hot on the retreat.
He's got a haunt in a couple of seconds too. He may find some more.
It's going to be so deadly for Liquid for sure. Here out comes the Haunt Miracle. He doesn't even bother trying to set a shrine up. He knows that he's gone. As they lose a third, and IG there, ready to put the pressure on. We can absolutely see why that buyback came through. They knew that Burning had the Radiance, so they wanted to go. It was the perfect time. And Liquid getting knocked back, losing the tier 2 here in the mid lane as well.
It's not a state of the game you want to be at. It's kind of been fairly even in terms of like gold to some extent, but even is not really enough. When you're playing a Drow strat against a Spectre, like this Drow Nature's Prophet is very kind of early game, mid game centric. It's kind of the opposite of what they did last game, where last game was like, well, let's play for the late game. We got Alchemist, got Medusa. This time around, it's the opposite approach. Like, all right, let's go all in with the early mid game and have this super aggressive ganking lineup with the Nyx Assassin, while we can also split push and hit very hard early on thanks to this Nature's Prophet core with a Drow Aura. But it's kind of backfired, and Spectre's managed to get a very good Radiance timing without even having to go for a defensive build. If Spectre had to go for like a Vanguard or some kind of survivability item, you'd be like, well, she's not farming that fast, but straight into the Radiance. Burning is top of the net worth, will only farm faster, and every kind of subsequent item he gets from here is just going to be a bigger and bigger problem for Liquid to deal with. Miracle on the Drow is just never going to really match up all too well against the Spectre. And I think Liquid are going to have to make some big aggressive moves using this Nyx Assassin in the near future if they want to kind of stay in this game.
We'll see what the next point of call is going to be. At the moment, we see 3 members of IG around that Roche pit. I mean, bottom lane, Burning is being eyed up by Kuroki and Mind Control. But again, between the two of them, very unlikely they can bring him down at this point.
He's gone for a Blade Mail now as well. This is a fantastic item against heroes like Drow Ranger, Nature's Prophet. You just want to right-click you down, and when you're being kited by the Drow Frost Arrows, you pop your Blade Mail, and she has to stop hitting you, and that's where you're able to get in nice and close.
Oh, OP just walks in with the immediate Laguna Blade onto Kuroki. There'll be the duel onto the Nyx Assassin as Liquid get punished heavily for that. Moving in, they did not expect OP to turn up with that Shadow Blade and immediately eliminate 50% of their gank patrol.
That was going to be like a 3-man gank with the NP teleport onto Burning if he was alone. They get the Carapace into the Vendetta, Impale. They theoretically can kill him if he's alone, but you're very deep on the map. And heroes like Monkey King, Legion can respond very quickly with Blink Daggers, with flying around the trees. So the response was there, and IG have managed to turn that around in their favor. Burning checks the Roshan pit. He's got his Haunt back up, and he's ready to join his team in this bottom lane should action break out.
And OP, of course, thanks to those last few engagements, was knocked down to, what, about the 6 Bloodstone charges, back up to 11 now as he climbs back up.
He'll be back to that, like, maybe a 10-second respawn. He's gotten higher levels now, so the respawn time starts to increase a little bit, but yeah, this will be like 10 seconds or so. It's crazy to think, like, Lina has a level 10 30-second respawn time. There's some heroes at level 25 who get a minus 30-second respawn time. So
it's incredibly strong. And these heroes, I mean, kind of, you know, like we've seen that now being played primarily as core. Not that they weren't before, but more so now it's encouraged because of those talents. You know, having that minus respawn on one of your biggest cores is huge.
I feel like Icerogue's mentality when he gave Lina this was like for the support Lina. Like a lot of support heroes have level 10 respawn talents, but then players are just like, well, I play a core Lina, I get a Bloodstone, I have 0-second respawn time, and I'm as a core, this is amazing. So players have kind of found out how to like basically use these talents in ways that they maybe weren't intended.
They've got the Haunt in time. Can they go for this? The Roshan's incredibly low. They jump in immediately. Matuma Man getting bursted down very, very low. Baboka with the ultimate, the control from the sidelines. A Miracle does grab the Aegis. Liquid did get the kill, but it doesn't matter by the looks of it as they surround Miracle for the ceremonial beatdown.
You're respawning into Wukong's command and freezing field, and you have no silence?
You wish you'd stayed dead.
Yeah. You're like, can I just
there
have
should be a cancel option on the Aegis. Like, nope. My goodness. IG ripping them apart, just turning up to the pit at the perfect time.
Yeah. They've got the Ags now on Colo, but it feels like too little too late. If they'd had that vision tool for the Roche fight, for some early engagements, it could have helped them out a lot. Looking for the cuddle here, but GH able to stay on his high ground, but they've lost 3, and IG's actually going to make it onto the high ground. Just a cuddle to worry about. This could be a tier 3 tower.
This could certainly get very messy for Liquid GH. Laser to the face and a stick to the backside as well. As he's brought down low, the tower goes. Mind Control will jump forward, gets the 2-man stun. But the dust and the sentry, the double detection from IG to bring down the next assassin. They open up the racks, blinding light from Cole trying to do his best to hold them off. But IG they're not going anywhere, and the Monkey's straining on the back line with the Legion duel as well, finding Miracle. That's your Drow Ranger out as well as Mind Control. Burning turns towards Matuma Man. Ripped apart there.
Ugly, yeah.
And it's GG. Liquid, they're not sticking around for 55 minutes this time around. They'll accept the beatdown. And IG just looking incredibly hot in this first series. And Liquid seems like they've been, as you said, coming in with a few new strats potentially, but they just did not work out against Burning of the Boys, as IG are going to be feeling very happy. And as you can see, smiles coming out from the room there. You're playing against Liquid. Coming into this, definitely considered one of the, or if not the strongest, I mean, other than OG, I'd imagine, in this tournament, and they've taken them down with what seemed to be relative ease in both of those games.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team that last time they came to China for Star Ladder managed to topple some of the best Chinese teams, topple OG to win the championship. So definitely a team that you should be very happy to have beaten, even in just a group stage match, because it was a fairly convincing 2-0. Game 2, at least, very convincing. Game 1 was like it took them some time to break the high ground, but it felt like they got a standard. They beat Liquid with a standard draft, and it shows that their strategies work against the Western teams. Because I think you go through these long periods of times where like the two scenes, both like the European scene and the Chinese scene, play in their own little regions, develop very different styles, and they don't ever really clash. And it's kind of like, well, will our style work against them? And I think that's good for them to know that they can keep playing their heroes, their style. And then when those heroes get banned, they have a very different draft. They have Spectre this game, they have Legion, they have Monkey King. They can also play like a more brawling, scrappy style as well. So really great 2 games from IG.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the other Western teams in particular approach drafts against this team. Baboka, Spirit, Monkey King, which do you let him have? Do you have to ban both? You know, it's
a lot of heroes he can play. He was, to me, like almost the MVP of the series with, I mean, game 1, I think maybe Burning play was maybe stood a bit more, but his Spirit was fantastic. But this game as well, he did it on Monkey King. I think looking at the series as a whole, he's the player you look at, and he's playing like what Jarex does for OG or what he used to for Liquid. He's the
Chinese
game decider.
equivalent, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, with that, we'll be back to the panel to hear what they have to say about this series in total.
Yes, thank you very much, Owen, and God's bringing us the second series of the day in Group B. It is a victory for IG, and what a thumping victory it was. Kevin and Shiva back.
I feel like we jinxed them.
We did a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. It's a rough time to be a Team Liquid fan, I think, now.
Although, let's put this into perspective. 6 teams in the group.
Yeah.
5 series.
This was only one of them.
There's only one. They've got 4 series left to play. There's 12 points up for grabs. That could easily take you through to the upper bracket semi-finals.
Momentum. First series is like, you got this plan. First game, got this amazing plan.
Let's take a look back at the demolishment of our Western friends, because they were absolutely dismantled in this game, Kevin.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say dismantled. I mean, the game definitely ended very resoundingly when it ended, but I mean, the amount of stuff that Matuma Man did, not Matuma Man, Mind Control did this game, it was insane how much action he made happen on his Nyx. But all of the good stuff that Liquid did is basically, the story of that is over by the 17-minute mark, and a lot of the problem was just that they had a Drow Ranger. The Drow Ranger did help them win their lanes and did help them get some of their early kills, but as a lane hero, she is so bad. She gets pressured so easily by almost any hero, and she got killed a bunch of times, and even then her farm to try to catch up afterwards is difficult. I feel like that needed to be maybe a different hero, somebody that had more early game impact kind of a thing, because it was just really tough for Miracle to do something really strong this game.
I mean, you did point it out that it was a very squishy lineup.
It was, and I feel like IG, again, just like previous game, they recognized the situation, they played it perfectly, they ran that aggressive tri-lane with the Spectre, not necessarily your aggressive tri-lane core at all, and they pressured that Drow Ranger, and they couldn't, well, Liquid couldn't really do that much off the back of it. They were the ones to need to determine tempo for the game, and Mind Control tried. He really tried. So hard. It was so difficult to control the vision from Baboka's Monkey King all the time. The map control overall, it's just they couldn't kill off IG in time to be able to do something. And then at some point they start running, but yeah, good luck trying to run from this. You know, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, Boboka was easily the MVP for me this game, just because as much as Liquid did on the lane, the only hero that did weak early game was really just Miracle. But Monkey King basically just offset almost, basically a lot, 80% of what Liquid was doing for lane pressure. And he just did that by being annoying, by always being there, by slowing basically every kill that Liquid got. It was always a trade. So even when things went well, it only went a little well. And at some point, if you're just trading even against a Spectre, and once it gets Radiance, game ends. And just like the Legion Commander and the Monkey King, those two heroes are just so strong early game, and they really shut down a lot of what Liquid had going for them.
Why did we see the difference between the way Kotl was used earlier against Monkey King to this game? What was the difference?
Just completely different like team playstyles, basically, or hero like lineup playstyles. Like Liquid's lineup was all about getting lane advantage and then 5-manning to take towers, but they never really got large advantage. They had some, they took a lot of fights, they had a lot of lane kills, but it was always trades. And Miracle just had a crap KDA, and that's what happens when you play Drow Ranger in lane. Like Drow Ranger versus Legion Commander is an awful matchup. Like she's faster than you, she has more armor. If she ever gets in melee range, you're always going to trade worse. And Drow's just a shit hero pre-6 as well. Maybe he could have gone a different skill build, like more points in his Frost Arrows to have more lane control, but it was definitely a very tough game for Miracle. And
can't remember the last time Miracle went 197 in a game, that's for sure. This man had a completely different game and was our MVP for the match, Boboka on the Monkey King in that second game. It's fantastic, Shiva.
And absolutely deserved. And as Goz mentioned as well, if you look at the entire series, his Earth Spirit in the first game was very impressive as well. Made a lot of plays. We talked about it earlier, how some of his plays could have, got Burning killed, and we mentioned Burning as the MVP, but he lived a lot because Boboka made him live. So MVP of the series even, in that case, for sure. Deserved.
In terms of Team Liquid, Kevin, where do they go from here in terms of changing things up or not changing things, or maybe better executions? What is it that you feel they have to work on in the immediacy of getting points out of this group? I
mean, I like their drafts and their synergy ideas. They're really cool, but the problem is that it's not hitting the mark. And against IG just picks super standard stuff that's in the meta that they think is strong, and they won their games because of it. So maybe it's not the right time to experiment with weird drafts like this. Maybe they need to just go to standard stuff that they think is good and play it, rather than trying to carve out a new meta, take advantage of the new patch with new meta. Instead, they should just go back to the old stuff and play standard.
Okay, tough game coming up next for them as well. It's newbie next for Liquid.
I mean, if you're gonna, that's a tough one. If you're gonna not try anything and just play your own game, this is the time to do it, because you tried experimenting a little bit, did not work. So let's go back to their roots, go back to the type of strategies that they won with at Star Ladder, for example, and take a series, get those 3 points on board, because they're very important. These points.
Yeah, indeed. We've got a couple of questions from social media right now, so why don't we take those before we head to a break. Our next matchup is a little way away. So our first question is, best Chinese mid player at the moment, Kevin?
The first one that jumps to mind is SCCC. I think he's fantastic.
Already had a rampage today.
Already had a rampage today. Almost never makes mistakes. The guy's insanely good. The guy that I saw in the previous series I was playing mid, I thought really impressed me a lot. Which team? No, I'm thinking the other one. He played OD game 1 and game 2. I can't remember who he played.
I can't remember. I wrote it down. That would have been. You mean the one from Newbie?
No. That's SCCC. The mid on the other side. Yeah, the first series, the guys that played against Newbie, they're mid player.
I'm looking at the
that guy actually, I wouldn't say, I'm not saying he's like best player in the world, but Sakata.
Okay.
Not saying he's the best player or anything, but he really impressed me too. Yeah, there's a lot of really good top Chinese mids right now, I would say.
But for people that are really curious about who's the best mid, there's a 1v1 tournament.
That's true.
So SCCC is actually in there.
There is a 1v1, and SC is in that one as well. Yeah,
he should be.
I know it's a bit of fun, but
Sakata
SF mid. Quarterfinals 2 days from now. There's some pretty cool